If you're an ardent beachgoer, then you must have seen different creatures on the beach sands or even maybe made some discoveries of your own. However, whatever you may have found is nothing compared to the creatures and things in our list of the most bizarre discoveries found on the beach. Are you keen to find out for yourself? A beach in Finland was covered with hundreds of ice eggs in 2019 due to a unique meteorological phenomenon. These ice eggs were ice balls that resembled large hailstones rather than genuine eggs. In the Gulf of Bothnia, which is situated directly between Finland and Sweden, they were found on the shore of Halo-Otto Island. The ice eggs on the beach resembled a McDonald's ball pit, except they aren't as colourful and there aren't any shrieking kids there. The eggs were created by a process involving wind and water. A 100-foot stretch of the coastline was covered with frozen eggs after tiny particles of ice were tossed around by the wind and became larger as additional ice formed. Some of them are the size of soccer balls, while others are similar to regular chicken eggs. Local resident Riso Matilla, who found and filmed the incredibly unusual phenomenon, had been in the city for 25 years and had never seen anything like it. One of those once-in-a-lifetime events is happening right now. In our lifetimes, it's unlikely that we'll ever again see a beach covered in ice eggs. You thought that sharks are the scariest in the deep water? Think again. You've not met the hippos. They are the worst. They'll give you chills and chase you to your death. Two buddies who were busy fishing in the Democratic Republic of Congo almost capsized and drowned when a giant hippo attacked them. The massive animal pushed their boat from the bottom with massive strength. Both men were not prepared for the attack but managed to hold the boat firmly. One of the guys tried to reach for his gun and fired, but the hippo was relentless and continued with the chase. This video ends on a rather cliffhanger. We don't know if the hippo succeeded or whether the fisherman managed to get away.
If you're playing in the water, it's a good idea to keep your eyes open, and you're never too young to learn this.
It's not every day that a baby girl meets up with a black-tip shark in the open waters. This little girl was having a nice time with her family over the weekend in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. She was super happy gambling with waves when all of a sudden she came out running and crying. She'd encountered a shark, and it wasn't any other shark, but a black-tip one, as per the recording they had. The shark could have gone for the little girl's feet, but her strong and intuitive sense saved her from that ordeal. Sea lion steals man's spot. This sea lion noticed that humans have a luxurious lifestyle. The creature then decided it was a good idea to take a dip in the swimming pool. A few minutes later, it decided to relax on the lounging chairs near the pool. As per the hotel staff, this sea lion, now known by the name of Wendy, is a regular at the hotel area and takes long naps in the lounge area. It doesn't harm anyone, but people are advised to steer clear of it. Hammerhead Shark, close call. A woman, while enjoying a coffee at a splash resort Panama Beach in Florida, noticed a hammerhead shark swimming in the shallow waters. The shark was just a few meters away from a swimmer when it made a turn towards him and came rushing at him. Everyone was in a panic until they noticed that the shark's real target was the fish it had spotted and snatched in no time. Shark attacks woman feeding. If someone can go to the zoo and get attacked by animals while feeding them, it only means that the same can happen when the animals are in the wild, in their natural habitat. One Australian woman was bitten by a shark which she was hand-feeding. A group of these tawny sharks did not just bite her but pulled her into the water, wanting to get an even larger pound of flesh.
Right behind you.
These sharks are placid species with powerful jaws as well as countless rows of sharp teeth. It was a good thing that her friends were all around and were able to pull her out immediately. Who knows how much damage these sharks would have caused. Maybe pirates don't exist anymore, but treasure hunting is still a popular thing out there. If you know where to look, you'll surely find something valuable. This was the case for Jonah Martinez, a 43-year-old treasure hunter who found a fortune only using a metal detector in the right place. In a beach in Florida, Martinez found some Spanish coins dating back to 1715. He was able to dig out 22 silver coins, and though he estimated the cost of his discovery was almost $6,000, he decided to keep them for himself because he didn't care about the money. He's really interested in collecting pieces of history. Jonah has been doing this for more than 24 years. Maybe it's true what people say. It's just a matter of being at the right place at the right time. In the Israeli city of Ashdod, archaeological remains from a Byzantine-era church have just been discovered. It dates back 1500 years to the time of the Eastern Roman Empire, according to archaeologists. At that time, Ashdod was a significant port and a hive of activity. The municipal police unit was doing a normal search of the dunes along the shore, only a short distance from the ocean, when they came across the church's remains. A marble pillar that was buried beneath the sand was found after the investigation. It's amazing it didn't get carried away by the water, given how near it was to the beach. Unaware for years, people had been strolling on top of an historic church. We need to go back to 2017 when archaeologists discovered the whole ruins of the Byzantine church nearby to comprehend what the pillar was doing so close to the coast. This most recent beachside pillar discovery was undoubtedly a component of the church, most likely one of the support columns holding up the heaving ceiling. And would you believe it, this church may have previously been the most significant in the entire city. It can be seen on the 6th century map of the Holy Land that is the earliest known to exist, the Madaba map. It is a mosaic. The church is visible as a magnificent building touching the beach. The city progressively deteriorated and fell into disrepair during the decades. Then people gave up on it. The amount that the water has risen over the past 1500 years, though, is alarming. The ruins of this cathedral, which formerly stood on the outskirts of the city, may now be seen all along the shore being ruffled by the waves. Sand dollars. The summer of 2021 saw one of the most horrific incidents in maritime history. You've probably heard about the massive die-off that happened during the freak heat wave that hit the Pacific Northwest, but you might not know that thousands of sand dollars mysteriously washed up on the coast of Oregon as a result of the massive death of creatures brought on by the sudden and uncontrollable warming of the ocean. When sand dollars die and wash up on the shore, they are tiny, round animals that resemble coins. However, many who became stuck during the summer were still alive when they were found. They were forced onto the beach by the high tide, became trapped when the tide turned, and were unable to swim back into the ocean. In other words, they became too dry and perished before the next tide came in. Nobody has ever seen anything like this in such staggering quantities. Sea urchins such as sand dollars can only survive briefly outside of the water. They seem fuzzy because of their small purple spines. The exoskeletons of dead sand dollars are what you find on the beach. Sadly, we have no idea what brought so many sand dollars to the shore. Hopefully the strange situation won't occur again in the future. Fish attacks man. It's bizarre to bait the tarpon with dead bait in your hand. This silly little action can end up in you losing your arm. This man swung his arm inside the water to bait a fish, and lo and behold, a tarpon was ready to bite his hand. The man tried his best to remove the tarpon from his hand, but the grip of the fish was stronger. Other people also came to his rescue, but it was all in vain. It was just by luck that the tarpon got bored and went back into the water, leaving the man to attend to his injury. Have you ever asked yourself, I really want to know what is the oldest message sent via a bottle? No? Well, we haven't either, but anyway, we bring you that information today because we know the answer. Found on Western Australia Beach, the bottle discovered by a Perth family has been around for 132 years since it was thrown into the sea. The family took the bottle home without having any idea of what it could possibly be, and after some studies, experts confirmed that it was from a German ship named Boggler and dated on June 12, 1886. The previous Guinness World Record was only 108 years old. It's crazy to think how long these letters have been lasting in the sea, even after being exposed to the sun and the water. Some of the coolest and most unsettling things you may encounter on the beach are sea cucumbers. These odd creatures lack both eyes and limbs. Between a mouth and an anus, they have just a collection of organs. They also ooze goo out of their behinds to detract people who find them on the beach and meddle with them. These enigmatic marine creatures are much more than simply milky goop. Sea cucumbers are quite expensive per pound. Normal cucumbers cost less than $3 on average, but a pound of sea cucumbers will set you back more than $1,500. People risk their lives by diving into the water to gather these items since they're so expensive and sought after. The reason for the expensive price tag dates back many years. For hundreds of years, only the richest people in Asia could afford to consume sea cucumbers, which were considered a cherished delicacy. They viewed them as a delightful, protein-rich treat. Then, in the 1980s, when we common peasants suddenly had access to what had previously been considered luxuries, demand for the creatures skyrocketed. All members of China's expanding middle class were on the prowl for succulent sea cucumbers. The sea cucumber may be sold for more money if it has an interesting appearance. There are over 1,250 distinct species, but that doesn't prevent them from being quite expensive. The Japanese cucumber, which costs around $2,000 per pound, is the priciest species. This walrus, going by the name Freya, did not mean to sink the boat. It was all rather accidental. This giant walrus, weighing about 1,300 pounds, had formed the habit of sunbathing on boats, and it was no wonder when it went to do the same in small boats in some countries, the boats sank under its weight. It's said to have been spotted in Germany, England, Sweden and Norway and other places in the European Union from October 2021 to mid-2022. The Norwegian Directorate of Fisheries then started to have some major concerns when it came to public safety and planned to execute the walrus in Osselford. When mating season arrives, millions of capelins start rolling to the shore with the help of waves. Then the beach is covered by a beautiful silver colour. Because of this event, thousands of birds and whales come along looking for a meal by feasting on these little fish that can reach up to 20 centimetres long. Although it doesn't have a specific date, the event takes place mid-June or July. People love to see it, and even the most inexperienced fisher will leave the beach with a handful of these capelins. Another fun fact is that almost all males die during this season because they are semiparous, which means they'll only breed once in their lifetime and they'll die after fulfilling that mission, whereas females leave the spawning grounds immediately and can mate again without any restriction. This is a rare sight which you can catch in Newfoundland and Labrador. A man somewhere deep in the Amazon forest met a 30-foot-long anaconda swimming through the river. He tried to grab the beast by its tail, but it escaped, swinging its tail. The swollen-bellied snake tried to free, but the man on the boat continued to try and grab it. This footage was sent as proof of animal cruelty. The Environmental Military Guard and police set out to find the man, and once they nabbed him, he was charged $400. Police have been battled by a mysterious unidentified dome that washed up on a West Australian beach. The giant metal object was found by locals at Greenhead Beach, about 250 kilometres or 155 miles north of Perth. State and federal authorities are investigating the item, which is not currently believed to be from a commercial aircraft. It is being treated as hazardous, and police have requested people keep at a safe distance. Aviation experts are claiming that it is possible that the object is a fuel tank of a space rocket fallen into the Indian Ocean, possibly in the past 12 months. Some are pointing out that the cylindrical object is maybe part of the missing MH370, a plane that is believed to be crashed off the West Australian coast. What do you think? Let us know in the comments below. What's the most bizarre thing you've ever discovered on a beach? Share your thoughts in the comments section below, and if you haven't already, subscribe for more videos on extraordinary discoveries. I'll see you later. Bye.